Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing absolutely fine during this period. So today we'll be seeing the foundation design of a tall building. This video is being made as a part of my project assignment for a course which I am doing under Skyfi Labs. So as you can see, the problem statement is in front of you. Uh, this plan, which according to which we will be designing the foundation of the building. So this is the plan of the tall building which I have designed in my previous video. So for any reference, you can check out that video. Link will be given in the description box below. So let us start. So as you can see the problem statement, there are 18 columns evenly spaced at 6 meters from each other, and the safe gearing capacity of the soil is given 300 kilonewton per meter square, and the allowable settlement which we are given is 1 centimeter, that would be 10 mm. So now you can see on your screens the different column names, the dimensions of the column, the dead load and live loads upon the columns, and the material which we are going to use for the column. So there are total 16 columns, as you can see. All the dimensions, dead load and live loads and materials to be used for the columns are given. This we will be referring for our design. Now guys, before we proceed to the software, there are certain basic calculations that we will need to do. For example, the subgrade modulus. Now the subgrade modulus is given by SBC, which is the safe bearing capacity upon allowable settlement. Our safe bearing capacity, as I had shown you in the first slide, was 300 kilonewton per meter square upon 1 centimeter, which is 10 raised to power minus 2 meters. So finally we got our subgrade modulus, which is 3 into 10 to the power 4 kilonewton per meter cube. The second calculation which we will be doing is of the column strip width. For designing a footing, it is very important that we define the width of the strips. So how do we find the length of the strips or the width of the strips, sorry? 0.25 L1 or L2, whichever is less. Now in our case, L1 and L2 are the dimensions of the plan. L1 and L2 both are same, so the strip width will be same. So strip width is 0.25 into 18 meters. That would be 4.5 meters. But as there is no provision for the width, we will take it up as 4 meters for our convenience. Now to accommodate the column corners, we will extend the mat footing by 2 meters. So guys, we will be designing our mat footing in the Shaped software, and you can download their evaluation version from csiamerica.com. And now when you will open the software, you will have to go to File, open up a new model, and there are certain basic settings which I will be telling you that you will have to apply. So first thing is, since we are doing a concrete frame design, not a frame design, foundation design of concrete, so we will be using the IS code 456 2000, and then our metric units should be metric units. Then the basic bar diameter of the rebar we will be using would be 22 mm, and after this you will have to choose grid only option. Now what happens in grid only option, now we have to make up a grid using straight lines. So as you know, the plan of our building spans about 18 meters in both the directions. So we will be taking 19 lines in both X and Y direction spaced at 1 meter apart. Then click OK, then you will get your grid lines. So now it's time we start defining the materials which we are going to use. So go to define, go to materials. So guys, the materials we will be using is M40 grade concrete, and rebar material which we'll be using is HYSD 500. Now again go to define. After defining the materials, it's time for us to go to define slab properties, go to slab properties, go to add new property, then add the slab material as M40, go to type as matte, thickness you can start by considering the initial thickness as 600 meter, and if the design check fails, we'll keep on increasing the thickness of the matte foundation. Click on OK again. OK again. Now after slab properties, we'll be defining the column properties. Go to column properties. We have to define two column properties. One would be of size 500 by 500. Second would be of size 600 by 600. Now as we know, our material which we'll be using is M40 grade concrete. Click on OK. Then again go to define, go to soil subgrade properties. In soil subgrade properties, you will have to enter the soil subgrade modulus. Then after, remember our soil subgrade modulus is 3 into 10 to the power 4 kilonewton per meter square. After entering that, click on OK, click on OK again, go to define again, check the load patterns, load cases and load combinations. In load patterns, you will see if the dead and live load are entered. If not, please add load pattern. Then again go to define, check the load cases. Now we are considering two load cases. One is dead load and one is live load. If not, please enter. Click on OK again. Then again go to load cases. Not load cases. Go to load combinations. In load combinations, we'll be defining two combinations. One would be for strength and second would be for service. For strength, the factors would be 1.5 into dead load and 1.5 plus 1.5 into live load. In the second combo for service, our loads will be 1 into dead load plus 1 into live load. Click on OK again. Now, expand the footing. Select the footing. Once you select, you can check at the bottom left corner, 1 areas and 4 edges selected. Go to edit. After going to edit, go to edit areas, go to expand/shrink areas, and now guys, go to draw. After clicking on draw, go to draw slab/areas. Now check the property is as per the defined property which we have defined at the initial stage. Then click on the endpoints of the grids. Then after that, close the dialog box of the draw slabs, press escape. Now again, click on the area of the footing. You can check at the bottom left corner of your screen that 1 areas and 4 edges are selected. Go to edit, go to edit areas, go to expand/shrink areas and enter the offset value as 2000 mm. Remember that our offset is 2 meter, which would be 2000 mm to accommodate the outer columns. Now, after that, once we have defined once we have drawn the slab, it's time for us to draw the columns. Now go to draw columns, check the column property if it is entered properly or not. First we will draw 500 into 500 columns and then we'll draw 600 into 600 columns. The property above should be none, height below should be 0, height above should be 2 meters. And now we can continue drawing columns on the grid points. Remember, they should be 6 meters apart from each other. So conveniently go on drawing the columns into the grid. Once you have done that, we'll go for columns of 600 cross 600 dimensions. Now once we have drawn the columns, we'll again go to draw for drawing the strip widths, design strips. Go to draw design strips. enter the relevant details. First we will be drawing layer A, which would be horizontal. It should pass through center of the column from one end of the footing to the other end of the footing. Then, and once you have chosen the option, check the dialog box. Strip layer should be A, column strip should be properly selected. Then as you know, our width was 4 meters. So all the values should be 4 meter. Start with left, and right. All should be 4 meters. After that, you will start drawing one layer, which will be A. It should pass horizontally from the center of the columns from one point to another point. As you can see my cursor moving from one end of the footing to other end of the footing. Then after that, again go to the dialog box, strip layer, select B, again enter similar details 4, 4, 4, 4. Then again these strip widths should be vertical. Then they should pass through center of the columns from one end of the footing to other end of the footing. Once this is done, we'll go for assigning. Now click the footing, inside the footing, as you can see at the bottom left corner of your screen, one area is four edges selected. Go to assign, go to support data, go to soil properties, then apply the soil property which we had defined. Click on OK. As you can see, you will see soil written inside the area of the footing. Now we'll have to add loads to the columns. At the start of the video, I had shown you in the problem statement different loads which are to be applied to the column. Enlarge the area, column area, click inside the column area, center of the column area. You can see at the bottom left corner of your screen, one point selected. Go to assign, go to load data, point loads, and now keep on assigning the dead load and live loads. And remember, the size of load for punching shear should be the size of the column. Go to OK. Now similarly go on applying dead and live loads to all the columns. After you have assigned all the loads to the different columns, and now it is time for us to define the material. Click on the footing, right click on the footing. So in design you will see the rebar material should be HYSD 500. For columns you won't have to enter the rebar material because it will automatically choose the rebar material which is in the slab. It will directly go to the column, so no need for changing the rebar material. For confirmation that you have entered the right loads, you can go to the column area, right click upon it, and in design you can see if the rebar material is HYSD 500, and in loads you can see what all loads have been applied to the column. Then after that, we'll have to assign the properties to the design strips. Select the strip. As you can see, after clicking upon it, one dialog box will appear. Go to design, enter the rebar material which we are going to use. Similarly, select all the strips. After selecting the strips, right click upon them. You will see the dialog box wherein you will have to enter the rebar material. So now once you have selected assigning the loads and properties, now go to run analysis. It will give some time to the software to run the analysis. As you can see in front of you, different areas are shown, how they will be affected under the loads. Then again, go to run analysis and design, go to display, go to show punching shear design. As you can see, all the ratios are under 1, which means our design is accurate, our footing has passed the design check. Now you can go to display to see how the forces are acting. Go to strip forces, select a load case, select a load combination, apply, click on any part of the force you want to see, moment, axial force, shear force, select the layer, click on apply. As you can see, it will show you the moment diagram. On the strips, go to layer B, select on apply. It will show you the moment distribution along layer B. After that, again go to display. You can check the slab forces and stresses. Go to load, select a particular load case and the load combination. You can see there are different types of forces. Click on any one force of your interest. Click on apply. You will be able to see the difference in the software, how the forces are acting. Close. You can again go to display, go to show slab design, click on the dialog box, impose minimum reinforcing, click on apply. As you will see, it will show in the top and bottom reinforcement required into the footing. As you hover your cursor over it, in both the X and Y directions, top and bottom reinforcement required. Click on OK, apply. Click on close. Now you can again go to display. You can click show crack widths. Select a load case, select a load combination. It will show you the crack developed on the slab top face. You can also check the crack widths on the slab bottom face. As you can see, every different color represents different crack width. So these cracks are very minor, so not an issue for us. Close. Now go to detailing. Sorry, go to run detailing. Click all the options, generate individual bars in plan, generate individual bars in 3D model, merge areas to clean edges and sections. Click on OK. Now the software has completed the detailing. Now you can see the different type of rebar shapes, strips. You can go to drawing sheets. You can go to slab views, go to individual slab views, go to mat property. You can see it will show the reinforcement detailing which is required in our footing. So here we have completed designing the footing for the tall building. Guys, if you want to check for the building which we have designed the footing for, you can check it in my previous video. I'll leave a link in the description box below. So thank you very much guys for watching this video, and shout out to Skyfi Labs for developing such an easy accessible course for us youngsters to get such a detailed understanding of the software used in the industry. Thank you guys. Take care.